This is the process for a screen replacement on a Surface Go 2 and Go 3. Use a thin pry tool to separate the screen from the frame. On the top side, where the power button and volume buttons are, there are two antennas, one on each end, that you'll want to be careful with the pry tool not to damage the antennas. Just go slow and take your time. After you've taken the pry tool all the way around, I use a guitar pick to help pull the screen up. You'll have some areas of adhesive that will stick or not be completely broken, so just kind of use the pry tool to pry the screen up, and you can use your hands to kind of pull it as well. Once you have the screen removed, you want to flip the screen up to expose the battery connector. Take a Phillips screwdriver and remove the two screws to disconnect the battery from the device. Now use a pry tool to remove the cover from the display flex connector on the board. Flip the screen over, and now you're just going to disconnect the display flex from the board. Next, we'll use a sharp blade to clean all the existing adhesive off of the frame. You want to be careful when cleaning the two antennas that I'm pointing to. The blade can easily damage the antenna, so I'll just use the blade real lightly, and then I'll use my fingers to just kind of rub the adhesive off of the antenna areas. The speaker mesh can sometimes get damaged when you're removing the screen. If it does, just use some B8000 or T7000 glue to help kind of tack it back down. I'm going to use some 90% isopropyl alcohol and a rag and just kind of clean the frame, try to remove any glue residue that might still be there. Alright, now that we've got the frame cleaned, we're ready to work on the display. So we're going to grab the old display and remove the flex cables off of it and get them ready to apply to the new frame. Use a pry tool to remove the cover from the connector. Remove the flex cable from the display. Disconnect the two flex cables attached to the daughter board. Now that the two flex cables are disconnected, we're going to use a pry tool to remove the daughter board from the old display. If your new screen doesn't come with the mesh that covers the mics on the top of the screen, you'll want to cut out the old mesh and then use that to put on the new screen. Grab your new screen and reinstall the mesh. Reinstall the display daughter board, flex cables, and covers. Not all screen assemblies will come with adhesive. Mine doesn't. If yours did, you can skip this step. I use Tesa tape all the way around the frame. Once I get to the antennas, I'll use a little cheaper, not as sticky adhesive, just to avoid, any future repairs that somebody has to do on this device. Now reinstall the screen. Make sure your battery connection is still disconnected. Reinstall the flex cable and attach. Use the 2 Phillips screws and connect the battery. Once everything is connected, go ahead and power it on to test the display. Also, don't forget the cover that goes over the flex connector. Once your device fully boots up, go ahead and do a basic post test for functionality. If everything's good, then you can remove the cover from the adhesive and seal the screen to the frame. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.